Hello guys, and welcome back to another video in this lightning series of recordings. Today, so this is posted during my hiatus, but this is being recorded August 28th, 2021, of course. Today we're going to be talking about Capitol Police Lieutenant Michael Byrd, who spoke about the fatal shooting of Ashli Babbitt on CNN, I believe, to Lester Holt. So Michael Byrd, remember the black bald guy who shot Ashli Babbitt? People say who killed Roger Rabbit. I'm saying who shot Ashli Babbitt, and it's Michael Byrd, okay? Now, Michael Byrd, not to be confused with Robert Byrd, KKK Cyclops of West Virginia, he personally has been pretty much in the shadows insofar as, who the hell is this guy? But yeah, no, he's going out in the open. It's been about 7 months since the killing of Ashli Babbitt and, dare I say, murder of her. And he basically is going here telling his part of the story. So this aired Thursday evening. We have quotes from him starting now. "I know that day I saved countless lives," Byrd told the network. "I know members of Congress as well as my fellow officers and staff. We were in jeopardy and serious danger, and that's my job." So you can already see this guy's insidious, malevolent obstruction, or not obstruction, but just obfuscating and gaslighting us into believing, oh, we were in so much danger. Oh, that 5'2" white girl, man, she was gonna fucking kill us all. No, fuck you, you pussy. Really? You had to shoot her in the neck, dude? Come on. The officer's identity was unknown until just now, which is bullshit. People have known a long time. I just didn't bother looking myself, so I didn't know. But I mean, how hard is it to narrow it down? Okay, we have a fighting-aged, black guy, bald, 5'6", whatever. I mean, how hard could it be? How many of them are in that Capitol Police force that were hired to work in that general area? I mean, come on. So people have known this a long time. Yeah, 28-year-old veteran of the force. All right. So look at this. The Capitol Police had declined to identify Byrd, who is black and went into hiding for months because of death threats and racist threats against him and his family. Okay, so this is bullshit, okay? So he's black. So what? What does that have to do with anything, right? And went into hiding because of racist threats. What? Really? Come on. And, oh, they're sending death threats. Who are sending death threats? How could they be any worse than the people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th? And even then, the people who stormed the Capitol didn't even fucking kill anyone. So, what's your point? The only person that I remember getting shot then was Ashli Babbitt. So, again, oh, they're so deadly. These fuckers are, though, they're sending death threats. So, really? Okay, well, the worst they did was break windows and, stomp in there. Okay? So, shut up. This is so stupid, and I'm so mad at this. This is ridiculous. Okay, Byrd described how he yelled at rioters to tell them to stop before they entered the speaker's lobby outside the House chamber. Officers had barricaded the doors with furniture and told rioters not to enter, but some smashed glass in the doors and tried to climb through. Babbitt was shot as she tried to climb through the barricaded door. As Byrd saw it, it was part of the last line of defense between members in Congress and rioters who would try to harm them. So that's how you know this guy's full of it. So they're basically saying they barricaded everything. The only way they could have gotten in was through breaking glass on a door. So if you guys know, if there's glass on a door, it's not that big. So the fact that somebody tried to squeeze in through the glass pane that was just recently shattered is pretty ballsy on their part. But also, how are they going to crawl in fast and try to kill you? It's ridiculous. So again, there's this small white woman who's crawling through. And so you would think, okay, well, if there's somebody breaking in, maybe they have a gun on them, justifiably shooting them. But no. So if she's crawling through a relatively small window inside of a door frame, how the hell is she going to draw a weapon on you? But of course, Michael Byrd shot her, and she was unarmed. And how do you know she's unarmed without looking at her explicitly? Well, I mean, if you're climbing through a door, you obviously don't have the gun in your hand because you wouldn't be able to get in the small window frame. So again, bullshit on the Byrd part. Okay, so if they get through the door, they're in the House chamber and upon the members of Congress, he told NBC. Which is not even true because the way he had it, I'm pretty sure the house was barricaded within the chamber, and then they had a second barricade, and then they broke the window to the second one. So even if they got through, they would have still had to break the other barricade protecting the congressman. And even then, I'm pretty sure they were evacuated at that point. And even if they weren't, again, which of the rioters had a gun? I don't even know. So again, these people aren't being charged with possession of firearms by and large, so they didn't have guns. Okay, and there were hundreds of congressmen there. So, I mean, if anything, the congressmen outnumbered the rioters, in the immediate vicinity. So that's pretty interesting, but nobody tells you this because they're all liars and they're sociopaths. And Byrd said his actions saved lives. Okay, some who had downplayed or promoted mistreating portrayals of Capitol attacks, including former President Donald Trump, have taken up the cause of Babbitt's shooting death. The officer is likely to face the wrath of pro-Trump forces and maybe Trump himself. Yeah, so that's Cope. Anyways, Byrd is not part of a protection detail or any specific member of the House leadership. Key members of Congress in both parties have flanked. Who fucking cares? Anyways, one of the things that was imperative was to inform the members to remove their pins and allow them to blend in, to remove their jackets to look as much as like staff as possible. Okay, who cares? Let's keep moving. Babbitt's family has threatened to file a lawsuit against the Capitol Police over the fatal shooting. Terry Roberts, who's the lawyer, did not immediately respond to a request for a comment. The department said that it's aware of the Byrd's interview and was not facilitating interviews with the officers this week. The Capitol Police Union declined to comment on the interview because he's a lieutenant who's technically in police management. I don't know what the hell that means, but anyways, we move forward. In February 2019, Byrd left his Glock 22 duty weapon in a bathroom in the Capitol Visitor Center complex after the House had adjourned for the night. It was later found during a routine security sweep, Capitol Police said. So that's pretty bad. So he basically, I don't know, took a piss in the bathroom. He left his Glock 22 loaded in a bathroom stall or you know, like in a sink or whatever. So in the Capitol bathroom, and just left it for the night. So like a janitor found the Glock. I mean, that's very reckless and very stupid of him. Okay, and he owned up to it. It was a terrible mistake. He was penalized for it. Now again, this is very bad because, as you can read here, these are pretty dangerous because to be found by Capitol visitors, center employees, custodial stand, you know, the custodians could find the Glock, or even a 7-year-old kid could go in that bathroom and find the Glock. So again, not good. And this is very bad, honestly. And again, it goes to show that, you know, if he left a loaded handgun in a bathroom, that he's obviously not of sane mind, or he's not very competent. So to say like, okay, this guy prematurely murdered some girl, like he manslaughtered her, you know, he killed her without sufficient provocation, that's completely plausible because, again, he's the type of guy who would leave a loaded handgun in a bathroom overnight where there's kids in there and shit. So again, complete idiot. And it says here, dozens of officers were seriously injured on January 6th as law enforcement were overwhelmed on the assault on the Capitol. One Capitol police officer died in the days after the attack, which is very facetious because if you were to record how he died from completely unrelated things. So again, very facetious. It's they're implying like, oh, people got injured and then one died after, as if like, oh, he died after he got maimed or something, but that isn't the case at all. And several Capitol Police and Metropolitan Police officers who responded to January 6th have then committed suicide. Okay, so whose fault is that, honestly, and for what reason? What was it, over death threats? Was it over because they felt bad for defending a regime that's corrupt, who certified an election, which we all know what happened there, which was the most fair, most free? Yeah, bullshit. Anyways, the point is that yeah, with this interview, it was completely botched. It was awful. Michael Byrd is an asshole for what he did, and I don't say that lightly. The guy is really evil, and the fact is that leaving a handgun in a public bathroom in the Capitol is probably grounds on its own to fire him outright. And the fact that he wasn't and covered for the Union is pretty astounding, and it just goes to show how much the Capitol officers will go and protect each other, which is just typical among police forces. And you know, these bad apples are really just getting to skate by over, you know, just hurting the overall popularity of the police forces. So yeah, the Capitol Police is losing clout because of this, and honestly, them killing Ashli Babbitt is bad optics on the part of the Democrats. And honestly, I don't see that as a justified shooting. She was unarmed. She was a small woman. I mean, again, no need to shoot her in the neck, and he's a coward for doing that. And yeah, there was many other things he could have done. He could have shot her in a place that was less lethal. He could have fired a warning shot. He could have actually been more stern when he was telling her specifically to get back. He could have charged the door and pushed her on the other side while she was crawling through, because it took her several seconds to do that. But no, he just stood behind a corner, popped out, and shot her immediately, which is very brutal and very cowardly, actually. And so he's a complete pussy for doing that, an absolute coward. He ought to be fired, and he should be put in jail. You could argue how long. Could you charge him with manslaughter? Could you charge him with this, that, or the other? Do I think it's premeditated murder? No. I don't think that he would have killed her in retrospect, because, I mean, obviously it's not justifiable, and he's a complete incompetent, and he ought to be fired at the very least and shamed. And jail time, I mean, probably he should go to prison for a couple years and lose ability to own firearms, because this guy cannot own a firearm. He literally left it overnight in a public bathroom, number one. And then number two, he also shot Ashli Babbitt, and that's not okay. And I'm glad that Donald Trump has mentioned this. It took him a long time. It took him like 6 months to even mention, who shot Ashli Babbitt and all that. And that's, not sufficient from Trump to just say that, but still he's moving the needle a little bit, and this guy ought to go to jail. And the people that are defending him shooting Ashli Babbitt are in bad faith. And for all the people that wanted Derek Chauvin to get the death penalty, where are you now? Okay, really? So yes, Ashli Babbitt, in my opinion, was more innocent than George Floyd in that police interaction, and you can argue all you want about it, but that's just the way I see it. So yes, the January 6th thing was not that big of a deal. The Democrats need to get over it. And also, again, just remember, the only people that got killed, who got shot that day, were the protesters, not the fucking cops. Okay, so keep that in mind. Thank you guys for watching. What do you think? Comment down below. What are your thoughts? Do you think that that he should go to jail, and if so, for how long? Now we know who shot Ashli Babbitt. Okay, bye guys.